Hey everybody. I was hoping to do a little bit of a low back release with the mini ball. Sometimes we just wake up and our backs are kind of bugging us, or we just need to decompress after a workout, or kind of warm up the low abdominals and release the low back before a workout. So this really quick series will just kind of help you to find that that kind of mobility and that fluidity in the lower spine, and hopefully make everything just feel kind of nice before or after, or just whenever you want, because that's great too. Let's get started. So I'm actually going to start with this guy underneath my sacrum. When we put it underneath us, you want to think about it almost supporting your spine from a neutral pelvis position. So I don't want it to be so low that it's kind of pushing you forward. It will also feel like it will roll away. And I also don't want it so low underneath your back. You can kind of see that it's almost like forcing a deeper arch of my low back. So you want to find sort of that Goldilocks spot between the two. So I have it right underneath my sacrum, more underneath my butt, but a little higher than my tailbone. So when I relax my pelvis down, I don't feel like my back is being compromised. It actually should just feel really good and supported. So what I'm going to have you guys do is, while you're here, let's just take an inhale and think of breathing into the back ribs. So we think right where my back body touches the mat, try to reach that next rib down into the mat on the inhale. And then on the exhale, feel like it could get even heavier. We'll do that a few more times. So we're going to inhale, try to breathe that bottom rib down right below the one that's actually on the mat. And exhale, try to sink it even deeper. And the more we can challenge where the ribs are in relationship to the pelvis, the more we can start to find that release of that mid-thoracic lumbar, that mid to low back connection. So I inhale, breathe those back ribs down into the mat, and exhale, let everything start to feel even heavier. And now we're going to take an inhale here. On the exhale, I want to feel my low back start to push into the ball. So I'm not asking you to tuck your pelvis or do anything. It's truly coming from just the low back, trying to press the ball away. And you'll start to feel how the low abdominals do kick on gently. And then inhale, let everything release. So the more we can keep it isolated into that one section, the less we try to grip the rest of the body to make the movement happen. So taking an inhale, exhale, I'm going to push my low back into the ball. And inhale, release it. And exhale, pushing the back into the ball. And inhale, release it. And exhale, we push. And just always taking stock of what's going on with the rest of the body as we do this. I noticed I wanted to try to use my feet and my knees and my quads a little more than I was hoping to. So I'm just reminding myself to let all of that dissipate. One last time. And exhale, pressing the low back in. Hold it here. Take another inhale. And then exhale, I am going to start to turn the wheels of my pelvis to let my pubic bone come up towards my head. I'm feeling my tailbone start to lift up off of the ball. Take an inhale. And then exhale, sink everything back down and let it all release. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to imprint the low back into the ball, feeling my back ribs sinking down into the mat. I'm going to exhale, scoop even deeper, feeling my pubic bone going towards my head. My low belly starts to fire as if I was going to lift off, and then right back down with control. Exhale, I'm going to imprint my low back into that mat. Inhaling here. Exhale, I scoop my pubic bone even deeper as if I wanted to lift it off of the ball. And then bring it all the We're gonna take an inhale. I want you to exhale, think of pushing the ball down. So I'm letting my low back press into the ball, and I'm also trying to push the ball into the floor. Notice how that kicks on the stomach muscles when we do that. We're gonna keep that connection, take an inhale, and exhale, use that pressure to float a leg up to tabletop. I'm gonna lower the leg down to tap the floor. Exhale, I'm gonna push into the ball to lift the leg up. So instead of thinking that the leg should feel really heavy, my pressure into the ball to lift the leg up is in challenging the stability of the pelvis and the trunk to allow the leg to do the floating from the hip and less from the quad. I feel my back ribs still. I'm exhale, pushing into the ball to lift the leg. And inhale, release. Exhale. Inhale. And last one, exhale. Inhale, back to the mat. Inhale to prepare. I exhale, push my low back against the ball and let the leg float up and down. Exhale, push. Really utilizing the breath here to help me float my leg up and keep my back ribs really sinking in opposition. And one last time. Hold it here. Now pulling the knee a little closer in towards the chest than you would think. I'm going to float my right leg up to join my left leg. I want to keep my knees a little closer in towards my chest. If anything, you can even have your hand just push against your knee and have your knee push into your hand if you need to. In fact, let's just do it. That way I know my left knee isn't going anywhere because my arm bone is going to stay down on the mat. I'm going to keep pushing a little bit into my ball, lowering my leg down to tap the floor and lift it up. I inhale, lower down. Exhale, sink the ribs to lift the leg. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we lift. Last two, inhale, feeling my back ribs sinking. Exhale, I lift. And last one, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold it here. Take that right hand to the right quad. Left hand's going to come down. I'm going to keep my hand and my quad together, keeping my right tricep pressing down into the mat. I'm going to lower my leg down and exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. We have two more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And inhale, last time. Exhale, lift. Bring both feet down one at a time. Right, then left. We'll take the pelvis and lift the hips up off of it. Take the ball away. Peel the spine down. Feel that release of the low back into the mat. And then we're going to take ourselves up to a seated position. I'm going to take that ball underneath my upper back. So it's more towards like just in between my shoulder blades. And I'm going to keep my legs a little further out than normal. My hands are going to interlace behind my head. And you want to feel like there's a lot of grounding through the back of the pelvis. So I'm not doing a lot of loading at all in my lumbar spine. I'm going to take an inhale, keeping my chin nodding in towards my chest. I'm just going to start to stretch my upper back over the ball and then let my head be the last thing to stretch. I'm going to nod my chin into my chest. I'm going to start to push into my ball to lift myself forward. So I inhale, keeping my chin nodding into my chest as I stretch back, letting the head be the last thing to drop back. And then I'm going to nod my chin into my chest, press into my ball with my ribs, curling myself forward. 3 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And last time, inhale. Stretch it back, keep it back. Reach the arms over the head. Take 3 deep breaths into your back ribs. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Exhale, sink. One last time. Exhale, sink. Take the hands back behind the head. Nod the chin. Curl it forward. Take yourself forward. Grab the ball. I want the ball to come behind the back of the left leg. Take the right leg down onto the mat. We're going to lie ourselves all the way down. I'm going to keep squeezing into the ball with my leg. I want my right leg to stay nice and grounded. You can open your arms out to a T if it feels better to have more support. I'm just going to float my knee open without letting my foot come off of the mat. Squeeze the ball to bring the leg back to center. So I'm going to inhale, float my leg open. Exhale, squeeze it back to center. Open it out on an inhale. Just rolling onto the outer part of the foot. And then exhale, squeeze the ball to come back to center. We're going 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. And last one, we inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze back to center. Bring the right knee in. Take the ball away from the left leg. Take the ball behind the right leg. Foot comes down to the mat. Left leg's going to extend out. I'm keeping everything grounded. I'm just going to open that leg, rolling onto the outside of my foot, and exhale to close. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze the ball to come back in. So the hamstring engagement by squeezing the ball is allowing us to move a little more freely in the front of the hip. And just having the arms out to the side and the opposite leg down is giving us that mobility through the hip without having to do too much rocking in the hip, which we don't want. One last time. Bend that left knee in. Bring the right knee up. Take the ball away. We're going to roll onto our side. And this time I'm going to take the ball behind my top foot. I'm going to or behind my top leg, excuse me. I'm going to squeeze the knee into it. My legs are glued together. I'm going to keep my ball squeezing. I'm just going to open the leg up and bring it down. Open the leg up and bring it down. So I'm just doing a modified clamshell. So by squeezing again into the ball, I'm encouraging the hamstring and the hip to do the work. And it's just a very subtle move to kick on the supporters of the pelvis to help prevent that low back from firing. Last 3 and 2. Final time. Open, bring it down, take the ball away. We're going to bring the ball underneath the rib cage. And we're just going to slide up and over the ball. I'm going to take my arm up and I'm just going to circle the arm around and forward, up and over the head. And you can have just very subtle rolling forward and back. So by having that little bit of side bend into the ball, we just open through the ribs and the diaphragm just a little bit more. Gentle movement, gentle mobility to warm everything up or cool everything down. Last time. And then we'll bring the hand down. We'll float ourselves up. We'll bring it all over onto the other side. So bringing that ball behind the knee. We'll lie down. We're back to our clamshell. I'm just going to keep my feet squeezing together, squeezing the ball. I just open the knee and shut. Open the knee and shut. Exhale, we spiral open and close. So again, this hamstring support is really great because we have to remind ourselves hamstrings are a postural muscle. So by encouraging that hamstring engagement, we're helping to keep our pelvis a little more stable than overusing the quads, which sometimes we have a tendency to do. Last 3. And 2. And last 1. Bring it down. Take the ball. We'll bring it underneath the ribs. We'll stretch over it, getting that little side bend. Take the arm up, feeling that little itty bitty stretch, and then we just roll the body slightly open as the arm opens and circles. So just a small movement in the ribs to find that rotation. But really it's more about just this movement in the shoulder and the arm. So remember, our back is connected to everything. So when we encourage pelvic stability, thoracic mobility, shoulder mobility, positioning and kind of relationship between rib cage and pelvis, and if we encourage movement and fluidity with all of those pieces, when we get done, we should feel a lot more open and supported. Last time. And we'll bring it down, coming on up. We're going to finish laying on our stomach on the ball. So the ball is going to be more underneath my sternum chest area. And my hands are going to be underneath my forehead. I'm going to have this just sinking sensation onto the ball. And all I want to do is take an inhale here. I'm going to exhale, just think of scooping the pubic bone down towards the mat. And you'll notice how my belly button pulls me up and gives me just this little length through my back. And then I'm just going to undulate back down and release. So I'm just going to scoop my pelvis using my stomach to lengthen my spine out and bring it back down. 3 more like that. I'm going to scoop, peel up, and roll it back down. And exhale, pubic bone scoops, it peels me up and rolls me back down. And last time, we scoop, peel up, roll it back down. Now we want to feel that scoop here. We're just going to feel that little bit of connection, but this time I'm going to scoop or press my body down into my ball. I'm going to start to lift my head, neck, and chest up just enough that I feel my upper back body firing, and then I'm going to lower myself back down and release everything. I'm going to feel that itty bitty scoop of my pelvis. I'm going to press down into my ball to lift my upper body up and bring myself back down and release. Now, you don't have to go very far in the lift. You could just hover, or you could keep your hands down and lift your spine. Do what feels good for the low back. We're just trying to encourage engagement of other parts of the body to support us in these movements. And last time. And bring it down. We'll take the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to press ourselves up and back into a little child's pose position. Take 2 deep breaths. Think breathe into the back body, into the ribs, into the low back, into the pelvis. And exhale, sink everything down. And we'll slowly bring ourselves up. Come to sitting. And I hope that helped to open things up in the spine and the trunk and the low back, and you can go on feeling a little better with your day. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time.